Um, it's February 13th. It's the Super Bowl. Linda walked in for my walk and all of a sudden she had it on and I was like, oh my gosh. So I wound up trying to tape it before she moved the remote because if she moves the channel then the whole thing is gone because I missed the halftime show. But Lou and Lynn was sitting there with two for Nights 35 and Lou's like, come here, come here, come here, come here, that guy you like to listen to, he's on. I'm like, which one? He's like, Eminem. He's like, what is he saying? Because it was on. They said it was god awful. They couldn't understand it. I'm like, right. I'm like, all right, rewind it. And wound up being one of my favorite songs. But I'm like, whatever. I said, remember how like the Beatles were your like prophecy, Lou, right? And, well, this is the crazy train of Hot 97, what I grew up with. So it was Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem, from what I saw. I got to hear Eminem sing. I got part of a Dr. Dre song talking about Chronic from back in the whatever, from his last album. That was the only album I ever saw. Same timing with Snoop Dogg. These were, and I said, oh, look, the crazy train pulled in from New York. It's the Hot 97 crew, so that's the 97.1 FM airwaves for the halftime show of this 56 or 5-6, whatever, on Super Bowl. They're on the burn in hell side of the country, on the interior, on the 8 with the 0. I'm on the 30 side with snow and a cold day in hell. The nines, dressed to the nines. Yes, I do have two quarterbacks out on the TV that are dressed in nines. And I'm like, wow, it is amazing what a Tribe Called Quest did with whatever crazy train pulled in. I don't know if that's lock, stock, and barrel. Gets a little confusing at rock, paper, scissors since I've been left out of the entire last 43 years. But I know in 1943 I stepped into a rock cathedral. I forget what country it was, but it was on the whatever. I mean, walk through a hole in time and space. Wanted to put down marriage license information and whatever. Had a witness in whatever, might not have been in synchronous chronological order, but it makes complete sense if you know how to speak Dracula and Draco, Draconian, whatever. So that happened for a druid, and I don't know what they think those things mean outside of, no, I draw symbols, and he usually knows what I mean. So that's what a Hot 97 train looks like. They were the radio kids, so I didn't know what they looked like growing up at that Sprats event. If they had walked in, maybe I would have known what they looked like back then, but I don't even think so. I only know now from a hole in space between here and there. However, that worked on seeded whatever. It's a seedy business. Yeah, it sure seems that way. For what flowers and what plants grow in whose garden. Let's think about this with Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf and trying to get muffins and get to Grandma's house safely. Oh, and so I said to Lou, I'm like, but you're such a fan of their music and culture. Why can't you sit through a halftime show, Lou? I was like, I know I'm the one who knows their music and their verse, and I'm able to translate it for you and old people, but I don't understand if you are such a big fan. Why can't you sit through the whole thing without getting all riled up? Lynn, too. She's like, you can watch the rest tomorrow. I've had enough. I'm like, right, got that. It's just, I mean, it is just all how the wind blows around here and what you all put up with and tolerate and what you all call, like, I have to just be quiet because I'm riding the crazy train alone at times. I mean, holy mackerel. No, it's wicked tuna. It's albacore, and that's what the cannery label said. And then it said white fish in water. Just saying. At least that's where I was labeled. But and it used to say bumblebee. I don't know what that meant, and I don't know where it went either, because now the cans don't even have the bumblebee on it anymore. At least the ones Lynn just found in the store. I have to think about this. It is star 1978, star 8378. Nicole Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe. Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I did enjoy the performance, by the way. I did notice the genuflect. Thank you. I did notice the different color combos, not quite sure in what that actually means. Mary J. Blige, I like to listen to on the radio. In the popular songs that got syndicated to New York. Never owned an album. Don't watch talk shows with interviews and stuff. Don't buy the magazines. Don't read the headlines. I don't follow any of the stars, not just what was on the train. I did notice the dancers in front and the hint of it was a crime scene when I got here for a lot of us. Some had better momentum than the rest. I never was entertainment. I had a totally separate purpose, but that's been derailed by whatever it is. And EMINEM, back in the day, was not on the New York radio. He did not hit Syndicate New York, for as far as I can tell, until Slim Shady was the first one I ever heard him sing. That's when he became popular and famous in my star cluster of I'm stuck in some, they're calling it dead cities, dead galaxies now, and like cities of dead galaxies. Like, that's really frightening. On so many levels of black and blue and all over. So, and I'm still sitting in the wrong everything. Like, some of the kids look alright because I got two immaculates. The first two don't look familial. I mean, they're now familial, but they don't look familiar to our mirror genetics for eternal flame purposes. And it's not like I loved you before I met you kind of a thing. And like I'll love you for eternity kind of a thing. I don't know. I had shadow calls, it feels like, from Cosmic Nursery, from work that we did prior, into seeding yourself into whatever to help out larger operation. And hard to explain, and normally we don't have to, it's just creepy enough. Being one of the freak show, but here we are. So, but nothing says I love you more than picking the woman that you will become her son prior to entry, which I do have a disparity on the Jerry Maguire scenery with a disappearance in a 1998, which I'm not quite sure how that, whatever, and however that whole thing, whatever. So I'm just going to leave it there. So I did appreciate the entertainment. They're talented. I'm not nearly as talented as they are in gift of voice. I've lost my voice completely, but that's due to pressurized changes in the cabin, due to whatever's going on at equinox and solstice. Again, I've said it before, but I've lost nighttime constellations in the sky. There's few orient points in the night sky, or in the dome, the sky dome, at CNUT for Sinui, Sinu, for whatever. Oh, and they mentioned earlier, Lou mentioned it when he was watching the Don Rickles thing, which again was the first time I ever saw it. Something about 1979 was a bicentennial. I know that's important, I just don't know why. At Centaur, that's important, or Centurion. But again, it's like a whole box of keys, and you're not sure who's holding, like, where is the locksmith at this point? Master locksmith. It's February 13th, 2022.